And we're back. And entirely too well lit, Great Caesar's ghost. Well, it was either shave or fetch coffee. And I seem to be the only one who gives a damn how much hair I have, but half my brand is drinking coffee on stream. So, decisions made with you in mind. Cheers. All right. Well, it's been a minute. Welcome back to Improv Bible Study here on the Junk Shop Library channel. The Atheist Bible Study, where we read every last word of the King James Bible, because it's the one in the public domain. And then we proceeded to rip at the new asshole it so desperately deserves from a modern atheist humanist perspective. This show brought to you in no small part, and these days entirely, from viewers like you, the wonderful Patreon supporters whose names you see scrolling at the bottom of the screen. These folks have found it in their heart, and more importantly, in these trying times, in their pocketbook, to, and also PJ Smith. I knew I didn't do something. It was update the damn crawler. Sorry, PJ. Shit. These folks, at times unsung, go to, damn it, patreon.com/improv Bible study, and Junk Shop can't multitask, it seems. Okay, there we go. God damn it. And have pledged their monetary support and provide their ongoing critical feedback and moral support to the channel. We literally could not be doing what we're doing without you. Thank you all. Thank you so very much. In a special and particular, I got to shout out my top 2-tier patrons, my illuminated manuscript, Captain Kimothy, and my genuine calfskin patrons, Bill, and very first patron, Paul Canish. These folks have really and truly gone above and well beyond in their support of the channel. It blows my mind, it warms my heart, and it makes all things possible. Fuck God, Bill, Kim, and Paul make all things possible. Welcome to the Junk Shop Library channel. Thank you all. Seriously. All righty. And reference books. Yes, this is true. Thank you, Lone Wanderer. No more shall we be confused and befuddled by the bizarre vocabulary of the King James Version. We shall only be confused and befuddled by its content and its priorities. So there will still be confusion and befuddlement. Have no fear. All right. Let's see. Housekeeping. Housekeeping. Number 1. We've got Mental Health Thursdays tomorrow. We are going to stick pretty close to the topic of mental health on Mental Health Thursdays. I know sometimes I have a tendency to go rambling off in all kinds of tangents and directions, but had a bit of a last minute inspiration for a topic tomorrow, and we're gonna stick pretty close to it, and I'm gonna do a little bit of ranting. Tune in at 3 p.m. Central. Then we'll be back with Improv Bible Study on Friday. And then on Saturday, assuming the United States doesn't implode, we will have An Atheist Reads the Book of Mormon, title approved by our new friend Black Sofa, at 6:30 Eastern. Sorry, still trying to do time zone conversions in my head, still not second nature. Let's see. There was something else. I was trying to think. I was doing good. I was headed in a straight line towards the goal, the race marked out for us. And then Mark Caesar complained about there being insufficient confusion and befuddlement, and I got all confused and befuddled. Mark apparently has magic powers in addition to being from the future. And the as yet unnamed couple stream tomorrow night, for which we will have a topic and about which I always forget until I am reminded by my wonderful wife, Julie, who is in the chat with us today. As are many other fine and fabulous individuals. So good to see y'all, one and all. Thank you for coming back after our little hiatus. If you're watching in the future and you're new to the channel, you may not have any damn clue what I'm talking about, because I see the numbers creeping up. I see y'all new folks sneaking in thinking I don't notice you. I do notice you. Welcome. Hope you enjoy your time here with us in the library. I had a tooth out on Monday, and it's at that annoying point of healing where it's just healed enough to no longer actively hurt, but it's not healed enough to stop hurting entirely, if that makes any sense. Those of you who have had teeth out, I'm so sorry. You know what I mean. It's just an absolutely delightful experience. All right. I have one more bit of housekeeping. I meant to put a link in the description, but I forgot. Amiga Nuts will probably have it in the chat before I finish speaking, because Amiga Nuts is amazing with the links. And speaking of superpowers, Amiga Nuts. Gargle salt water. Yes. In my doctor's note, it says I can start doing that tomorrow, actually, as there's a very strict timetable for when I can start doing this and that and the other. But dear friend of the channel and wonderful friend of mine, Grumpy Old Dude, whom most of y'all, I believe, if not all of y'all, know and love as well, has started a new series over on his channel called The Formers, where he talks to and with and about various groups and systems of belief of which they used to be a part, and tries to create a conversation to just generally bring folks together. Grumpy Old Dude knows a little something about formerly being of an ideology. Thank you, Amiga Nuts. And he's back in pretty damn full swing on his channel after a little bit of a hiatus himself. And I saw the first episode of his new series this morning, and it was just absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend it if you have not seen it already. Okay, I think that lengthy portion of announcements was all the announcements I have today. So now it's just a matter of figuring out where is my Bible, and say it with me, where I put my glasses. There's my glasses. Where? Nope, that's the Book of Mormon. We won't need that till Saturday. There it is. There's my Bible. I spent more time looking for my Bible for the endeavor on which I was about to embark over the course of the 2 years I've been running this channel than I ever did back when I actually believed the absolute rubbish and rot that is herein contained. Lest there be any confusion as to where I stand. Tell us what you really mean, Junk Shop. It's what you really think. All right, we're in the book of Jeremiah. We begin today with chapter 9. Jeremiah so far has been a lot of bellyaching and moaning about the great wickedness which his people Israel has committed, which all seems to essentially boil down to idolatry. But we know from this portion of the book that there's not really anything the Lord God Almighty and All-Knowing frowns upon quite so much as acknowledging the existence of, let alone worshiping, any other motherfucker besides him. He's the only one who gets to acknowledge the existence of any other motherfucker besides him. Chapter 9. Oh, that my head were waters, and mine eyes a fountain of tears, that I might weep day and night for the slain of the daughter of my people. Oh, that I had in the wilderness a lodging place of wayfaring men, that I might leave my people and go from them, for they be all adulterers, an assembly of treacherous men. And they bend their tongues like their bow for lies, but they are not valiant for the truth upon the earth, for they proceed from evil to evil, and they know not me, saith the Lord. Take ye heed, every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother, for every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders. And they will deceive every one his neighbor, and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies, and weary themselves to commit iniquities. Thine habitation is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit they refuse to know me, saith the Lord. Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will melt them and try them. For how shall I do for the daughter of my people? Their tongue is as an arrow shot out. It speaketh deceit. One speaketh peaceably to his neighbor with his mouth, but in heart he layeth his wait. Shall I not visit them for these things, saith the Lord? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? For the mountains will I take up a weeping and wailing, and for the habitations of the wilderness a lamentation, because they are burned up, so that none can pass through them, neither can men hear the voice of the cattle. Both the fowl of the heavens and the beast are fled. They are gone. And I will make Jerusalem heaps, and a den of dragons, and I will make the cities of Judah desolate, without an inhabitant. Who is the wise man that may understand this? And who is he to whom the mouth of the Lord hath spoken, that he may declare it? For what the land perisheth, and is burned up like a wilderness, that none passeth through? And the Lord saith, because they have forsaken my law, which I set before them, and have not obeyed my voice, neither walked therein, but have walked after the imagination of their own heart, and after Baalim, which their fathers taught them. Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood, and give them water of gall to drink. I will scatter them also among the heathen, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, and I will send a sword after them till I have consumed them. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Consider ye, and call for the mourning women, that they may come, and send for the cunning women, that they may come. And let them make haste, and take up a wailing for us, that our eyes may run down with tears, and our eyelids gush out with waters. For a voice of wailing is heard out of Zion. How are we spoiled? We are greatly confounded, because we have forsaken the land, because our dwellings have cast us out. Yet hear the word of the Lord, O ye women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth, and teach your daughters wailing, and every one her neighbor lamentation. For death is come up into our windows, and is entered into our palaces, to cut off the children from without, and the young men from the streets. Speak, thus saith the Lord, even the carcasses of men shall fall as dung upon the open field, and as the handful after the harvestman, and none shall gather them. Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised, Egypt and Judah and Edom, and the children of Ammon and Moab, and all that are in the utmost corners that dwell in the wilderness. For all these nations are uncircumcised, and all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the heart. And there we have chapter 9. Okie dokie. Well, the seemingly eternal refrain of the channel continues. I don't know if y'all have heard, but it's gonna be bad. When? We don't exactly know. Whenever this great nation from out of the north, because that's the direction the magic pot happened to be facing when God made the prophecy, whenever said nation gets here, it's gonna be bad, because y'all done fucked up. Not just a little bit of y'all fucked up, but a whole bunch. And so, there's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth and slaughter of the men. The women just get to sit around and mourn, apparently forever, or at least until they're carried off into captivity among the uncircumcised. So, it's bad to be uncircumcised, and it's bad to be circumcised, because even the circumcised in the flesh are uncircumcised in the heart these days. So he's going to punish the circumcised people who are uncircumcised of heart with the hammer of the uncircumcised nations. I don't think I've ever said either of those words that many times in that short a span of time, even back during Numbers and Deuteronomy and Leviticus. Jiminy cricket. All right, and for only about the umpteenth squillion time, it is made very, very clear that Jerusalem is going to be laid waste, made desolate, wiped out, knocked down, an abode for dragons where no one will live. Very clear. Whenever this mighty nation out of the north, because that's the direction the magic pot was facing the day the Lord made the prophecy, gets here. I just report them. I don't make them up. Now, it's round about this time in the timeline laid out in the Book of Mormon. Come join us Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That God is also laying down the prophecy, which gets buried over in America, that he's going to start counting other non-Israelite folks as metaphorical children of Israel, because all the actual children of actual Israel are going to have been wiped out. So, you know, like all good fanfic, you got to have a reference back to the source material, or the true fans will come after you. Thus saith the Lord. Again, repeated many times, just to make sure you know that it's the word of the Lord. Because remember, there's apparently a whole bunch of prophets around at the time of Jeremiah, but none of them truthfully telling the complete word of the Lord. Just this kid Jeremiah, who happened to be pot watching the day the Lord decided it was time to make his word known, not through any of the established prophets that people were already listening to, just to some random kid minding the stew pot. Working his mysterious ways just all over the damn place. All right. Anything more to drag out of 9? I don't think so. There's not a lot going on. Just more of Jeremiah being Jeremiah. It's going to be bad. Chapter 10. Open! Open sesame! Damn it. There we go. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and gold, they fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Lord, thou art great, and thy name is great in might. Who would not fear thee, O King of nations? For to thee doth it appertain. For as much as among all the wise men of the nations, and in all their kingdoms, there is none like unto thee. But they are altogether brutish and foolish. The stock is a doctrine of vanities. Silver spread unto plates is brought from Tarshish, and gold from Uphaz, the work of the workman, and of the hands of the founder. Blue and purple is their clothing. They are all the work of cunning men. But the Lord is the true God. He is the living God, and an everlasting King. At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation. Thus shall ye say unto them, the gods that have not made the heavens and the earth, even they shall perish from the earth, and from under these heavens. He hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heavens by his discretion. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. Every man is brutish in his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image, for his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, and the work of errors. In the time of their visitation they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Gather up thy wares out of the land, O inhabitant of the fortress. For thus saith the Lord, behold, I will sling out the inhabitants of the land at this once, and will distress them, that they may find it so. Woe is me for my hurt, my wound is grievous. But I said, truly, this is a grief, and I must bear it. My tabernacle is spoiled, and all my cords are broken. My children are gone forth of me, and they are not. There is none to stretch forth my tent any more, and to set up my curtains. For the pastors are become brutish, and have not sought the Lord. And therefore they shall not prosper, and all their flocks shall be scattered. Behold, the noise of the bruit is come, and a great commotion out of the north country, to make the cities of Judah desolate, and a den of dragons. O Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. O Lord, correct me, but not with judgment, not in thine anger, lest thou bring me to nothing. Pour out thy fury upon the heathen that know thee not, and upon the families that call not on thy name. For they have eaten up Jacob, and devoured him, and consumed him, and have made his habitation desolate. And there we have chapter 10. Yet another one of these chapters in Jeremiah where it's none too easy to know at any given time without really paying super close attention and a little bit of guesswork to know who it is that's talking at any given time. That last set in the first person, not that business in the second person at the very end addressed to God, but the one just before that in the first person. Everything up until now in the first person has been Israel crying to the Lord, or has been very clearly, thus saith the Lord, I will do thus and such. Thus saith the Lord, thou hast done thus and so. But there, it just starts, you know, woe is me. I'm all wounded and hurt. And the last time we had that configuration, the person speaking was very clearly Jeremiah, weeping on behalf of the people and the city that is going to be laid desolate. Whenever this great army out of the north, because that's the direction that the magic pot was facing the day God decided to make the prophecy, arrives. Then we find out that it's God. Woe is me! I'm so hurt. I'm wounded. My curtains fell down. And my priests are unworthy to put them back up. And they wouldn't do it anyway because they're all gone astray and adultering, a-whoring after other gods. Oh, goodness sake, y'all forgive me. It should be too cold for anything to be blooming, but I swear to God something is, because the old schnoz itcheth like a motherfucker, as they say in King James. Yeah, Lisa, I don't fucking know. Doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. For anybody watching back after the fact, yeah, I don't fucking know. They've gone astray. They are worshiping the man of bronze. Or at least bronzer. Political humor in there and a tiny ad hominem. Old junk shop not above the occasional ad hominem if the person in question is sufficiently loathsome. Here endeth the lesson. All right, so God's busy belly aching and moaning that his curtains fell down. Very attached to his curtains is old Mr. Yahweh. Very particular about them. Very, very, very particular about them. As we found out back in, was it Numbers or Deuteronomy, which was all on about the exact specific specifications of how to build your tabernacle. Somebody knows, because somebody's back watching this series from the very fucking beginning. It's still lost somewhere in Genesis. So when you get up to this point, let me know. Always love to see the old stuff cropping up in the recently watched. Y'all are awesome. So yeah, it's Jerusalem's going to get knocked down and laid waste and be desolate. A place where no one lives. Except, of course, for the dragons. Very big on the dragons. Mr. Jeremiah loves him some dragons. I wonder, if only there was a book where one could look up the meaning of old-timey words. If only there was such a thing. Find out their diction, if you will. What would we call such a thing? disperse, dispose, dote, dregs, too far, dragon. 3 meanings. Noun. Meaning 3, the devil. Meaning 2, a venomous land serpent. Meaning 1, a large marine fish or serpent. Okay, so dragon, noun. Something that lives in the water or the land and is big and swims or does not, or is the devil. Something bad gonna live in Jerusalem that ain't people, because there ain't gonna be no people, because it's gonna be desolate, a place where no one lives. Squeak. I gotta learn to stop talking in that register. Squeak. I see y'all creeping in late. Extra homework for you. All right. 11. I not. Quick side note. Yeah. At least I hadn't been sleeping too easy of late either. I hadn't been waking too easy either. It's not an awesome time here in the old land of the free and home of the brave. Thank y'all for being such a wonderful, supportive community, and one that I can turn to get away from the goddamn news. 11. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Hear ye the words of this covenant, and speak unto the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And say thou unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, Cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant, which I commanded your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt from the iron furnace, saying, Obey my voice, and do them according to all which I command you, so shall ye be my people, and I will be your God, that I may perform the oath which I have sworn unto your fathers, to give them a land flowing with milk and honey, as it is this day. Then answered I and said, So be it, Lord. Then the Lord said unto me, Proclaim all these words in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, Hear ye the words of this covenant, and do them. For I earnestly protested unto your fathers in the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, rising early and protesting, saying, Obey my voice. Yet they obeyed not, nor inclined their ear, but walked every one in the imagination of their evil heart. Therefore I will bring upon them all the words of this covenant which I commanded them to do, but they did them not. And the Lord said unto me, A conspiracy is found among the men of Judah and among the inhabitants of Jerusalem. They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which refused to hear my words, and they went after other gods to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant, which I made with their fathers. Therefore thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. Then shall the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense, but they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble. For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry nor prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. What hath my beloved to do in mine house, seeing she hath wrought lewdness with many, and the holy flesh is passed from thee? When thou doest evil, then thou rejoicest. The Lord called my name, a green olive tree, fair, and of goodly fruit. With the noise of a great tumult hath he kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken. For the Lord of hosts that planted thee hath pronounced evil against thee, for the evil of the house of Israel and of the house of Judah, which they have done against themselves, to provoke me to anger in offering incense unto Baal. And the Lord hath given me knowledge of it, and I know it. Then thou shewedst me their doings. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter, and I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, Let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be no more remembered. But, O Lord of hosts, thou, Lord of hosts, that judgest righteously, that triest the reins and the heart, let me see thy vengeance on them, for unto thee have I revealed my cause. Therefore thus saith the Lord of the men of Anathoth that seek thy life, saying, Prophesy not in the name of the Lord, that thou die not by our hand. Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, Behold, I will punish them, and the young men shall die by the sword, their sons and their daughters shall die by famine, and there shall be no remnant of them, for I will bring evil upon the men of Anathoth, even the year of their visitation. There we have chapter 11. There goes our wonderful main character, God, again, comparing his chosen people to a woman who has committed lewdness with many. Shame on her. Doing what she wanted, damn it. Don't you know women aren't supposed to do what they want? They're supposed to do what their husband wants. Just like God would have them do if the man in question were God. Or if the man writing down the book were God. You'd have to obey him. Same with anybody who's speaking on behalf of God, mind you. Patrons flash back to this week's Catechism show. Okay, so. Oh, and side note, Jeremiah learns of the plan to kill him by the sons of Anathoth, who have had enough of his preaching. This kid won't shut up telling us we done fucked up and everything we do is wrong. He says he's seen a magic man in the sky who used to be a floating lamp and then was a volcano. And now is invisible and all-knowing and all-seeing and everywhere and knows the thoughts of your inmost heart and is going to make you suffer for them. Apparently the sons of Anathoth don't want to. Shut up, kid. Leave us alone. No, you are evil. You are evil and fallen. You are like a wife who has gone a-whoring. All right, let's kill him. Jeremiah finds out about this plot against his life, turns to the sons of Anathoth and says, hey, you know that God that you don't believe in that I do, that talks to me in my head and in my dreams? He's going to smite you. You've done a naughty. And my God knows it. Only found out about it just right fucking now, because I just found out about it right fucking now. But still, he knows it. And he's going to smite you. So you better lay off your murder plot and leave me alone. Let me keep babbling my crazy. The response of the men of Anathoth is not recorded. Neither is the outcome of this death plot against the prophet Jeremiah. But by the fact that he goes on to write like 24 more chapters and an entire other fucking book, I think we can assume that the plot failed. I do miss the history books. I do. We'd get details about the plot to murder the prophet. But since this is just Jeremiah, done with Isaiah, thanks be to God. This is just Jeremiah rambling on and on. Not able to keep track of what tense or what verb, tense or what person he's writing in, but this is Jeremiah's book, so he gets to make the rules. Is Jeremiah the dude that marched through Jerusalem naked with a white flag? Not so far. Do we have that to look forward to? It's already been 3 years worth of nudity in these major prophets. Isaiah wandering around buck-ass naked in the burning-ass desert TM for 3 years before he went back and found his clothes again. All right, well, I guess now we find out if the plan of the sons of Anathoth gets carried through on. Chapter 12. So I guess not, but we'll find out. Wouldn't be the first time we've chronicled the death of the supposed author of a book. Hashtag Moses lives. Chapter 12. Righteous art thou, O Lord, when I plead with thee. Yet let me talk with thee of thy judgments. Wherefore doth the way of the wicked prosper? Wherefore Are all they happy that deal very treacherously? Thou hast planted them, yea, they have taken root. They grow, yea, they bring forth fruit. Thou art near in their mouth, and far from their reins. But thou, O Lord, knowest me. Thou hast seen me, and tried mine heart toward thee. Pull them out like sheep for the slaughter, and prepare them for the day of slaughter. How long shall the land mourn, and the herbs of the field wither for the wickedness of them that dwell therein? The beasts are consumed, and the birds, because they said, He shall not see our last end. If thou hast run with the footmen, and they have wearied thee, then how can thou contend with horses? And if in the land of peace, wherein thou trustedst, they wearied thee, then how wilt thou do in the swelling of Jordan? For even thy brethren and the house of thy father, even they have dealt treacherously with thee. Yea, they have called a multitude after thee. Believe them not, though they speak fair words unto thee. I have forsaken mine house. I have left mine heritage. I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hand of her enemies. Mine heritage is unto me as a lion in the forest. It crieth out against me, therefore have I hated it. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble, all the beasts of the field, come to devour. Many pastors have destroyed my vineyard. They have trodden my portion underfoot. They have made my pleasant portion a desolate wilderness. They have made it desolate. And being desolate, it mourneth unto thee. The whole land is made desolate, because no man layeth it to heart. The spoilers are come upon all high places through the wilderness, for the sword of the Lord shall devour from the one end of the land even to the other end of the land. No flesh shall have peace. They have sown wheat, but shall reap thorns. They have put themselves to pain, but shall not profit. They shall be ashamed of your revenues because of the fierce anger of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord against all mine evil neighbors that touch the inheritance which I have caused my people Israel to inherit. Behold, I will pluck them out of their land, and pluck out the house of Judah from among them. And it shall come to pass, after that I have plucked them out, I will return and have compassion on them, and will bring them again, every man to his heritage, and every man to his land. And it shall come to pass, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people, to swear by my name, the Lord liveth, as they taught my people to swear by Baal, then shall they be built in the midst of my people. But if they will not obey, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation, saith the Lord. And there we have chapter 12. So, okay, you got to do just a little reading between the lines here, which Christians never do. You got to read between the lines here a little, but it seems that Mr. Jeremiah escaped the murder plot by the sons of Anathoth by the skin of his teeth. Got out just in the nick of time. And they stomped all his grapes. Literally or metaphorically, it's a little hard to tell. Jeremiah is so given to the overblown statement and the exaggerated metaphor, it's difficult to tell when he's actually talking about grapes and land and when he's talking about grapes and land. when he's talking about inheritance and when he's talking about inheritance. But anyway, it seems that Mr. Jeremiah got out by the skin of his teeth. The men of Anathoth wandered around all over his house looking for him. He didn't take his wife with him. Left her for the enemy. No previous mention of his wife. But either he's got one now or he's started mixing in the metaphorical with the literal to such an extent that they're never going to be discernible one from the other again. Has escaped into the wilderness. Just in time, too, because this mighty nation out of the north, because that's the direction the magic pot happened to be facing when God decided to make the prophecy, that nation apparently finally got here. And done stomped not only the men of Anathoth, but the children of Israel and the people of Judah, and overrun Jerusalem, leaving Jeremiah to bemoan its fall. All right. Well, we're coming up on the top of the hour already. So on the note of the sacking of Jerusalem, which we had to read between the lines to notice, I guess we'll wrap up today. I had gotten so accustomed to Jeremiah overstating everything and taking everything so far over the top that the sacking of Jerusalem by the mighty nation out of the north, because that's the direction the magic pot happened to be facing when the Lord finally decided to make the prophecy. I hadn't expected to have to divine that by means of paying actual attention to what I was reading. Shit. I mean, I gotta pay attention now? God damn it. Okay. Well, hi, Flower. Just in time for the end. Sorry. It seems Jerusalem just fell while Jeremiah was worried about saving his own skin. So that was a thing that happened. Did I read that right? It certainly seemed like it to me. Y'all let me know in the comments below if I got something wrong. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Because I've never had to issue an erratum before. Okay, well, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little flummoxed and confused. I was not that hour passed more quickly than I expected it to, and I wasn't expecting the fall of Jerusalem. Just kind of thrown in casually at the end of the chapter. Oh, before we go, sorry, had a mental footnote I had to circle back around to. One quick weirdness. One quick weirdness in that chapter. Jerusalem's been sacked. God has brought judgment. God is going to pluck out the people from this land and take them away and deposit them in another land and leave them there. until they learn the error of their ways and stop worshiping other gods. Except, at some point, he's going to bring them back to Jerusalem and reestablish them, kick out the dragons first, presumably, and then sorry y'all, I forgot to turn off the buzzer on my phone. It's just going buzz, 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 distracting me. Okay, so then after he brings the Israelites back into Jerusalem, the little bitty remnant of them that remain. Remember, he talked about that a couple of chapters ago. We talked about that, I think, on Friday. That he's going to wipe almost all of them out and leave a few to learn their lesson. After he brings them back to Jerusalem, he's going to give them one more chance to not piss him off. But if they don't learn their lesson, then that time he's going to kill them all. Because he's a just and merciful God, remember. Okay, well, on that cheerful note, we are going to, fashion. I know why y'all come here. On that note, we're going to wrap up. Join us again tomorrow, same time, 3 p.m. Eastern, for Mental Health Thursdays. I have a topic. Seriously, I do. Still hung up on the not circumcised in the heart thing. Yeah, you gotta cut off the plenure. Yeah, I don't fucking know. It's God. He works in mysterious ways, sometimes metaphorical ways, sometimes literal ways. Sometimes you're supposed to take him serious and do exactly what he says, and sometimes not. I don't fucking know. You have to listen to the prophets. The prophets will tell you. The ones who interpret for you. The ones who wrote the book. I mean, sell the book. I mean, do what you're told, damn it. Stop asking so many questions. Yes, TMI show tomorrow, which I always forget to plug. I'm so sorry, Linda. Okay. So, we'll hope to see y'all again soon. As we always say, Junk Shop's in the wrong town. All right. As we always say before we roll out of here, everybody take care. Everybody be safe. And stand against hate. We'll see y'all again soon.